The distress beacon pierced through the void of space like a scream, and Elif was the first to intercept it. She sat in the navigation chair of the wandering star, her dark eyes scanning the holographic display that flickered before her. The message was brief, desperate, and written in the universal trade language that most species used when they needed help from anyone at all. Apex predator nest. Cubs trapped. No rescue possible. Requesting human assistance. Adam looked up from the engine diagnostics he'd been running, his brow furrowed. Human assistance? That's specific. Elif turned to face him, a slight smile playing at the corners of her mouth. They know what they need. The coordinates led them to Kvash 7, a jungle world on the outer rim of the Talvari system. The planet was notorious among galactic travelers, a place where the food chain was so vicious that even the Galactic Conservation Corps refused to establish research stations. The apex predator of Kvash 7 was the Shakari, a creature that stood 3 meters tall with obsidian scales, 6 legs, and a jaw that could crush durasteel. When the wandering star touched down at the coordinates, they were met by a delegation of Vryn, insectoid scientists known throughout the galaxy for their timidity and analytical minds. The lead Vryn, whose translator identified him as Scholar Tixerel, approached with his forearms held in a gesture of supplication. Humans, Tixerel chittered, his compound eyes reflecting the dual suns overhead. We did not believe you would come. Elif stepped down the ramp, her boots crunching on the purple-tinted grass. Your message said cubs were trapped. What happened? The scholar's antennae drooped. We were studying pack dynamics of the Shakari from our elevated observation post. A mudslide occurred during the night storms. 3 cubs, juveniles, only 4 months old, fell into a ravine. The mother and pack cannot reach them. The walls are too unstable, too narrow. They have been crying for 2 days. Adam had joined Elif now, carrying a coil of synthrope and a portable scanner. And you can't use drones? The mother destroyed 17 drones, Tixerel said quietly. She perceives any approach as a threat. Even our shielded equipment. She has already killed one of our research assistants who attempted a remote extraction. The Shakari do not distinguish between helpful and harmful intent, only threat and non-threat. But you think she'll let us approach? Elif asked. The Vryn's mandibles clicked in what might have been embarrassment. Humans have a reputation. You approach what others flee from. You pet what others classify as weapons. You befriend what should not be befriended. Adam snorted. You want us to go down there because we're crazy. We want you to go down there because you are human, Tixerel corrected. And humans do impossible things. The ravine was a wound in the jungle floor, 20 meters deep and lined with crumbling stone. Elif could hear the cubs before she saw them, high-pitched mewling sounds that tugged at something primal in her chest. Above the ravine, the mother Shakari paced, her massive form creating tremors with each step. Her scales rippled with bioluminescent distress patterns, and her eyes, 6 of them, arranged in 2 rows, fixed on the humans with predatory intensity. She's terrified, Elif murmured, studying the creature's body language. The Shakari's tail was tucked, her dorsal spines flattened. She's not aggressive. She's desperate. Adam secured the synthrope around a nearby tree, testing its strength. Desperate predators are still dangerous predators. Not to humans, Elif said, and before Adam could protest, she walked toward the ravine edge. The mother Shakari roared, a sound that shook leaves from trees and sent smaller creatures fleeing. Elif stopped, but she didn't retreat. Instead, she knelt, making herself smaller, less threatening. She pulled a protein bar from her pocket, standard human rations, and broke it in half, tossing one piece toward the massive predator. The Shakari sniffed it, confused, then ignored it. I know, Elif said softly, though the creature couldn't understand her words. I know you're scared. Your babies are down there. I'm going to help. She stood slowly and approached the ravine edge. The mother growled a deep rumbling sound but didn't attack. Elif clipped herself to the synthrope and began her descent. The cubs were huddled together at the bottom, their scales still soft and mottled with juvenile patterns. They hissed when they saw her, tiny, ineffective sounds, and tried to bare fangs that hadn't fully grown in yet. Elif reached into her pack and pulled out a thermal blanket, approaching slowly. Hey there, little ones, she cooed. You've had a rough couple of days, haven't you? The first cub snapped at her hand. Its teeth didn't even break her glove. Alif wrapped it in the blanket anyway, bundling it against her chest. It squirmed, then settled, probably exhausted. She signaled to Adam, who activated the pulley system they'd rigged. One by one, she sent the cubs up. The mother watched, her aggressive posturing slowly fading as each cub emerged from the ravine. When the third cub reached the top, the mother Shikari gently grasped it in her massive jaws and set it down, beginning to groom it with surprising tenderness. As Alif climbed back up, her muscles burning, she found the mother waiting. The creature's head was level with hers now, those 6 eyes studying her with what might have been curiosity. For a moment, they simply looked at each other, human and apex predator, both mothers in their own way. Then the Shikari did something the Vryn scientists would debate for years afterward. She lowered her massive head and exhaled, a warm breath that ruffled Alif's hair. Not a threat, an acknowledgement. Back at the Wandering Star, Tixarel approached with what passed for awe among his species. The Galactic Council will want to know how you did this. What training, what technology? No technology, Alif said, wiping mud from her hands. And the training is just being human. I do not understand. Adam grinned, firing up the ship's engines. We're persistence predators, Scholar. We don't give up. Not on hunts, not on problems, and definitely not on scared parents trying to save their kids. Doesn't matter what species. As the Wandering Star lifted off, Alif watched through the viewport as the Shikari mother led her cubs back into the jungle depths. Somewhere in the galaxy, another distress call would come. Another impossible situation. Another species that had tried everything except asking the humans. And the humans, as always, would answer. Because that's what humans did.